Bonjour everyone, welcome to another Diecast showcase. Welcome back if it's a return visit, welcome if it's your first visit. Hopefully you enjoy this little mishmash of diecast I have to show you today. I'm going to be checking out a few things, basically. Try to do a little bit of variety in different type of diecast I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you my most recent additions to the Hot Wheels mainline collection, since I did stumble upon a nice little drop of I believe it would be F case. It's an international case, so it's not really written behind, but yeah, a little bit of that. Also a little larger scale find that I made a week or two ago at Toys R Us. And after that, I thought we'd check out a couple of JDM Jadatoys in a bit larger scale. They claim to be 132 scale, and I think that's pretty accurate. And we'll finish off with a trio of boxed 143 scale models that are a little bit less common, I'd say, a little bit more out of the ordinary. So let's start it off without further ado. So first thing I'm going to show you is those main lines that I stumbled upon. So yeah, unfortunately no Super. Seemingly was a dud. Actually, I think it's E-Case. I'm sorry, E-Case. This is E-Case. I did find the regular treasure hunt, so a Jeep Wrangler. I have one variation of this casting that I picked up in a thrift store bag. It's kind of like a lime green. It's from a few years ago, so this is the latest iteration of that casting. Not a bad T-Hunt. You know, obviously muddy tires I'm not a big fan of, like a lot of collectors. However, in this case, since you got some well, mud slash sand splatter on the side of the Jeep, I find it kind of fits. I wish that the black portion of the fenders also had some mud on there, but they're plastic and part of the base, so you know, can't have it all. But yeah, a cool T-Hunt. I do like T-Hunts when they're real vehicles, so I'll hold on to this one, you know, put it away in the T-Hunt stash. I don't really fondly collect every single T-Hunt, but the ones that are, as mentioned, real vehicles, I do tend to hold on to them. You know, there are a few nice ones. So after that, basically, other find that I was pretty happy. Despite me not collecting variations, this is a casting that I do collect variations of. Mazda Repo, or REPU, or rotary engine pickup. I did show off the orange version that I picked up a while ago. So I'm happy to pick up this green one. White wheels are a nice little contrast with that green paint. I do like the hue of green that they chose, and the fact that it's gloss. I find that it's very period correct. We're talking about the type of paints that we would have seen on these cars in period, or these trucks, should I say. Nice tampo work front and back, which is one of the main reasons why I love this casting, at least the last two versions of it. Really, really well done. Love the fact that, you know, the rear is done with the rotary powered on the back. But I like even more the fact that despite the front end being part of the base and being plastic, they still went ahead and tampoed it really nicely, including that little rotary badge right smack center of the grill. So definitely a casting I enjoy. I do like these little Japanese nostalgic cars. So yeah, that's another one that I found there. One that I was definitely looking forward to, recolor of the 935, the newer version 935. I am definitely looking forward to the older version, the blue one with the orange, yellow, and red tampo work on it as well. Definitely going to be something I'm going to be looking out for, but this is so much better. This version here is so much better than the first red version. I mean, it's got some, you know, a livery that has colors reminiscent of the John Player Special livery, so that's definitely iconic. You know, best known on the Lotus Esprit JPS edition, as well as the Lotus Europa that had a JPS or the Europa Special, which was in JPS colors as well. So black with gold deco, you can't really go wrong. Looks really, really good. And yeah, the casting itself is really nice. So happy to have found this one. Afterwards, being a Nissan aficionado, couldn't really leave this one behind, the Z Proto. So yeah, the prototype version of the new Z, definitely a nice to see in yellow, which was the reveal color for the prototype or the pre-production model. If they follow suit, I can imagine that maybe we'll be seeing a blue version eventually. So yeah, this has been reviewed, so I won't spend too much time on it. It's been reviewed a bunch of times by a bunch of people, so you know, nice tampo work front and rear. You know, as we have come to expect from the factory fresh line. Nice PR5s in gold. A little bit unusual, but I find it's a nice contract with the bright gloss yellow. So, and the black roof, you know, makes for a little bit of a fighter jet canopy look. So, definitely a very cool casting. Can't wait to see if they're gonna do what they're gonna do as variations next. And the one I was most excited about, not the Super, but finally, I get to add an EK9 to the collection. There were several on the pegs. I think 3 or 4 probably on the pegs. No Supers. There may have been a Super that I missed out on, but I think I saw 4, so I'm pretty sure that the cases were duds that were used to fill up the pegs. But yeah, I'm really happy to find this. I actually picked up 2 because I'm probably going to crack one open and do a little bit of detailing on it. The only thing that bugs me about this casting, in all color variations, is the fact that the grill isn't the grill isn't black right below the Honda logo, and I find that a little touch of black on those little vents on the bumper right under the front lights. Could use a little touch of black as well. So maybe a wheel swap if I find an appropriate set of wheels to put on there. That'd be cool. Can't say anything about the rear though. The rear is perfect. Obviously 2 tampo passes on this one, so unfortunately no Type R logos on the rear fender behind the between the rear wheel and the rear door, and the door. Sorry. But yeah, you know, no biggie. Actually, we'll be checking out another one of these. It's a little bit different, so stay tuned for that a little bit later in this video. Shouldn't be too long of a video anyways. So, all right. So last find that I want to share with you is something that's a little bit, you know, it's not mainline or anything like that, but it's something that I just had to pick up. Looking at a Kinsmart Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 7, so JDM version, as we can see, with the right hand drive, so opening doors, got some yeah, actually the pullback motor seems to be a little bit weak there, but doesn't really matter because I don't really play around with them. So it's cool because the wheels are well replicated as well. You've got some mega thread on the tire, which actually gives it almost like a gravel rally look to a certain extent. Very well detailed. I mean, these, seriously, for the price, if you guys enjoy multi-scale collecting like I do, these are really good. I mean, these will set you back maybe, what, $4 or $5 US each? I mean, lens lights across the board, all the badging, you know, not perfect, but, you know, darn decent. Plastic base, metal body, opening doors, obviously pullback motor. You know, it's well made, well done. And this, as you can see, 136 scale. So we'll actually keep this here for reference, because what we're going to check out next is actually we'll jump into a trio of JDM cars that I'd like to show. So these are boxed, but I think I will take them out of the box basically just for the sake of it. Alright, so first and foremost, let's actually, you know, I made an allusion to Civic Type R. I have this version right here that, again, Jadatoys, I think they wanted to go for 132 scale. It's pretty close, I think, to 132 scale. Let's get this guy open, take it out of the box. Oh, and if ever you're curious, this would be the rest of the cars included in the collection of, well, or actually that wave. So I'll let you browse that quickly here. Some nice ones, definitely some nice ones. Yeah, and I believe I do have that 93 RX7 on the top there. I do have that one. So yeah. Yeah, so basically, let's check out the actual reason for this opening of the box. Here is our nice Honda Civic. Really nice, really nice. I won't take it off the base there, but I mean, this thing is very well done. You've got the tiny little T37 looking wheels. Maybe some Longchamps or something like that, you know, definitely like small diameter, you know, aggressive offset Japanese looking wheels. Front and rear lights are tinted, as you can see. It does have opening doors, and it is left-hand drive, so we're going to assume here that you know, this is probably a USDM version that has the Type R conversion. Yeah, and furthermore, if we look here, we've got 4-lug wheels. It's kind of hard to tell if it's 4x100 or 4x1 14.3, but you know, could be interpreted as a Type R conversion on a domestically sold Civic. So I like it. It's very nice. And comparison here, this is a 136 scale. The Evo being a larger car than the Civic hatchback. I think it's pretty darn close. Good job, Jada, on the scale. Yeah, I mean, the only downside to this model specifically, it's just the fact it has no rear view mirrors. But as for the rest, I have a hard time faulting it. And there's that Type R logo I was referring to. That's not present on the Hot Wheels version. As you can see, on the Hot Wheels version, that would be absent. So, yeah, there you go. Alright, next up, just make a little bit more room here. Next up, let's check. Actually, you know what? I'll put this back in the box first and foremost before we get to the next one. Please excuse the delay. I will try and be as swift as possible on my reboxing here. Alright. There we go. Alright. Next up. Let's do some decades, basically. We just checked out an icon of the 90s if we're talking about the Japanese sport compact cars. How about we check out another icon, but this time from a decade earlier, namely the Toyota Corolla AE86. Now, as you can see, this one does come with rear view mirrors. It's an older cast, basically, that was re-released. Extremely hard to find on the shelves or pegs, mostly shelves, but whatever. You know, obviously the AE86 has a legendary status now, so anything related to the AE86 is extremely hard to come by. This one has a very nice stance, you know, dumped to the ground, slightly exaggerated body kit if we're talking about how low it goes, but it's not exaggerated to the point where it's cartoonish, at least to me. Hard to see, but rear is well done with some lens details. Yeah, you got all the badging and everything. Pretty much the same for the front end, but you know, I find it's a little bit weird that those lights are clear. Pop-up lights do not go up and down, but we do have opening door. And this one, as you can see, is actually right-hand drive. So, very cool. Definitely a casting I enjoy. I'm a big fan of the AE86. I owned a junker one way back when. So, yeah, cool little car. Cool little car. Yeah, and it's got the Toyo Tires banner in the windscreen as well. I like the gold metallic color. Black hood, no carbon fiber look on there. Whereas more recently released castings actually do have kind of like a textured finish to them. Especially the big wings when they're equipped with such to replicate carbon. So yeah, pretty happy to have this one. Lucky Walmart find. Civic though, that was actually bought online when it was released. When it was released, I decided to pick it up because I knew very well that there was no way in the heck am I ever finding a Civic EK, on the shelves or on the pegs or whatnot there. These cars really are extremely sought after up here in Quebec. So, and you know, if you're from the US, you know what kind of legacy in the tuning world the Civic has. So if you're, you know, 30 something, you know, you probably grew up with these, you know, Fast and Furious and all that jazz. So last one we're going to be checking out is actually one I have never opened from what I can see. By the way, I showed you the back there. It's all the same backing on these boxes. They're not all the same release necessarily, but it's all the same cars that are shown in the back. So they just have several variations if we're talking about colors and liveries. All right, so yeah, last one. This was actually also an eBay purchase, and it was an eBay purchase at the same time as that EK Civic, basically. It's gonna be the last Jada that I'm gonna show you today. But you know, it's a car that's actually gaining a lot in popularity. I've always loved it, but now it's really gaining popularity since, especially since Hot Wheels has decided to release it both in premium and regular mainline, as well as a super version. So it would be this one here. So Mazda RX3, powered by the mighty 12A rotary. Nice little work, or what seems to be work wheels. Big fender flares, riveted fender flares. Really well done. You got a bunch of sponsors on the door. A little bit reminiscent of the mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s with the sponsors and everything. I don't know what the kanji says on top, but you know, work wheels, so that would confirm that these are kind of like work equips. Endless brakes. Not sure what the other one is just above the Mazda thing, but yeah, basically real sponsors for the most part. Nice gold line with the dark, very metallic red. Very nice metallic in this paint. You know, I like that the center of the wheels are gold as well to match the striping and the sponsors. Again, we have opening doors, and again we have right-hand drive. So JDM epicness. Love the flares. You know, that big wing on the back, that big duckbill wing. Very well done. Again, good job, Jada. Now, these cars I think are going to be varying in scale because, I mean, these three, I chose them specifically because I find that they're well sized for the actual size of the car, the one-for-one equivalents of these. You know, an RX3, an 886, and a Civic EK, you know, they're pretty close in overall width and length and, you know, wheelbase and whatnot. So, you know, they don't look out of place one next to the other. There's not one that looks bigger than the other. But yeah, there's a little sneak peek at the front there. It's very well detailed, very well done. Lots of separate pieces in the scale, so it's, you know, it's pleasing to the eye. So yeah, we'll hint to the 70s there with a livery that does give a 70s vibe, or a 70s race vibe. So definitely these three are three heavy hitters to me, at least in the scale. And I'm glad to show them to you today. So now we're going to get into a little bit more oddball. I don't want to say odd, well, not necessarily oddball, but just like something that's a little bit different, basically. You know, cars that aren't necessarily represented too often. First one I'm going to show you. Let's see, what brand is this again? Yeah, okay, so this is a New Ray, and it's a Chrysler Turbine Car, sorry, out of their City Cruisers line. I'd call this cheap diecast, basically. These are very cheap. They're pretty much all American cars from the, you know, 50s, 60s, even late 40s, and maybe a little bit of early 70s, but they're all you know, really mostly 60s cars in this collection. Very honest details throughout. You know, everything's pretty much there. The chrome work's good. Quality of the molding is fair. But these, I mean, they cost the equivalent in Canada of maybe, I don't know, $7 each, $8 with tax maybe. And I mean, 143 scale cars, there's some that cost a heck of a lot, right? I may not have uploaded a video with some of my 143 scale collection at time of uploading this one. But yeah, it can get real expensive real quick. But if you're paying a lot, you're getting a lot, though, if we're talking about the overall. I'll show you some examples of this. So here it is out of the box. Now, one point that's worth noting, look at the paint application on the door handle. Yeah, not the best, right? I mean, again, you get what you pay for. There's definitely strong points. I know when I got this one, the rear tire here on the back was not on the rim, so I had to actually open it on the get-go just to put the tire back because it looked kind of ridiculous, like it had a flat or something. Once that was done, it was perfect, and this was the only one on the shelves in the store where I bought it of this specific model. There were a bunch of other ones, but not necessarily models I was super interested in. You know, detailing's really good. You don't have lens front lights. They're just part of the chrome. Rear lights, though, you know, same thing pretty much. So, you know, there's a few details lacking, but overall, the cast is really good. It is metal body. The paint work is extremely nice. Pretty good quality paint. A little bit of orange peel, as you can probably see, but not you know, it's not offensive to look at, especially for the price. You know, I mean, $8 Canadian tax in. That's pretty much like what, $6 US. So $5 to $6 US. $5 to $6 for this. I mean, even if it was worse than this, I think it's still a darn good deal. And I mean, it's a historic vehicle. You know, Jay Leno has one of these, or at least I saw a video of him driving one of these. I don't know if he actually has one, but I'd have to double check that fact. Either way, really cool car. They were all in a burnt orange color, so this one's a little bit more red than the actual color of the car, of the real car. And I mean, most of these were crushed, so there's, you know, there's a single digits if we're talking about the ones still in existence today. So, but yeah, really cool little curio. Very unusual car, and I mean, turbine. It's not like turbine-powered cars are, you know, in any way, shape, or form popular. The thing was a complete flop. So, all right. Next up are the 143. This one I'm not going to open, but this is a resin model. This is Jaguar Mark 1, and this is from the Tintin comic books by Hergé, which is a series of comic books that I read and reread as a kid. Have a few examples of myself, you know, from childhood, and yeah, you even have the figures in there from the book, sitting in the car, and a nice little box showing off the artwork. So there you go. This is where the car was found, in which book, on which pages, and this is a very prolific set. If ever you've never seen these, there's in these books there was a lot of automotive content. If we're talking about the number of cars, very well reproduced in drawing. And yeah, the backdrop here is really cool because it really shows off Hergé's style of drawing. Simple yet precise, which is something I definitely enjoy. I do draw a little bit myself, especially cars, so I can appreciate when an artist has a style that he sticks with. So, all right, and last but not least, which I get the feeling is a phrase that I say at every video, but last but not least still. Actually, before we do a last but not least, let me just do a tiny little cleanup, because this is a little bit more of a monster here. I'm going to back up the camera just a little bit. I'm going to get these main lines out of the way. I want to get a clear image of the whole set in one shot if possible. We're going to look at this nice Carorama 143 scale set, Mitsubishi themed, and I did make an allusion to this set as mentioned if it has aired prior to this video airing of this set, when I showed off another 143 scale Pajero Evo that I have, but from Auto Art. So yeah, I picked up this set at Nice Car Collection, which is one of the bigger diecast stores in the province of Quebec. Again, located about an hour, give or take, from where I live. Well worth the drive, though. So you can look that up if ever you're interested. And if you're local to me, yeah, it's definitely worth the drive down. So yeah, basically this set, I had no intention of finding it anywhere locally. I did look into buying it online because at the time of release it was pretty cheap. It was about 30 bucks, 25 to 30 bucks, I believe, depending on the seller, before shipping. So, you know, it's a decent price. Carorama 143 scale cars are pretty well made, very well detailed, and you know, I didn't have a trailer in 143 scale, which I'm kind of happy to have, because it gives the opportunity to actually maybe, you know, vary the set a little bit. So yeah, this one basically got Evo, this is an Evo 5, Lancer Evo 5 in Rally Art race livery, seemingly for tarmac spec based on the tires and wheels. And also stance. Very well reproduced. All the little rally touches are there. You've got that big vent on the roof. You got the aero mirrors. You've got the more pronounced V within that iconic rear wing to better diffuse air. and offset that big air vent on the hood. You know, all the cues are there. Trailer's really well made as well. Very accurate in its size. You know, different wheels that are really look trailer specific. Trailer's mostly plastic, mind you. The cars themselves are diecast body plastic base. No opening feature on either. And surprisingly enough, this Evo, it's kind of hard to see, but it's actually left-hand drive. No, it is right-hand drive. It's right-hand drive. No, it is left-hand drive. Yeah, looking from the top, we can see it a little bit better. Or can we? Either way, you can take my word for it. It is left-hand drive, which is kind of weird because the Evo, the first Evo to have a variant in left-hand drive, was pretty much the Evo 8, I believe. I know it's the first Evo to be sold in the US. And I know that a bunch of them in Europe have been converted to left-hand drive. Again, Auto Scout 24, these pop up once in a while. They do command a premium, as the laws for left-hand drive and right-hand drive imports in certain countries, including mine, are not the same. I could import, example, a left-hand drive car that is 15 years or older into Canada, whereas for right-hand drive cars, example like this Pajero and this Lancer, I have to wait 25 years. So there you go. Yeah, so Pajero Evo, I mean, I've already went through the basics of what a Pajero Evo is, so I won't repeat it. If ever you'd like to see that, well, if ever it has aired, which I'm pretty sure it will have, you can check out my 143 scale showcase, which will show you the auto art version of this truck. But yeah, it's this one's really well done. Doesn't have the red mud flaps, but as for and it does have a trailer hitch, obviously, on the back. But all in all, I mean, I find it's pretty much as good as the auto art version without, you know, taking it out of the box. I'm pretty sure the base is not as detailed. I'm pretty sure, well, I know 100% it doesn't have steerable front wheels, which the auto art version has, which is a cool feature and quite rare in 143 scale. But besides that, I mean, I think they're pretty much both on point if we're talking about the rendering of the model. They both have the lensed features. You know, this one's, both of them are windows closed as well, which is actually not a bad thing, I find, for 143 scale. Plus, it prevents accumulation of dust in the vehicles when they're out of the box and on display. So, yeah, really very cool set. Two iconic cars that fit super well together. You know, turbocharged all-wheel drive rally machines right there. One for the street as a tow vehicle, and one for the track or circuit or rally stage on the trailer. So on that, I will conclude the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like what you saw, consider leaving a like on this video. If you'd like to see more content like this, consider subscribing so as to be notified when I get more videos uploaded. I tend to upload maybe twice weekly, so you know, a lot more to come. And yeah, basically feel free to comment also which was your favorite in this showcase. What did you like most? What did you not like? You know, I'm starting to build a list of different themes that I want to go into, suggested by people, as well as from my own digging through my collection. So yeah, I'd be glad to get your requests and feedback on your end as well, seeing what you'd like to see. If I have it, I'll be more than glad to accommodate. I just have to make sure that I have enough to actually make a video, because obviously if I have one car of the brand you'd like to see, well, it's probably going to end up being more of a short than an actual video. So on that, I will wish you an excellent rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.